पूरा रिकॉर्डेड है भाई लगभग पूरा रिकॉर्डिंग करके मैं पूछा लाइव करना मतलब पूरा लाइव रिकॉर्डेड है मैं बताइए बोला तो कहाँ अंकर वो पीछे का जैसे जेएमयू रिसर्च सोसाइटी ने
Good morning. Before we begin the proceedings of the award ceremony, I request everyone to be fully present in the moment by putting their phones on silent or airplane mode. Thank you. Roger Federer recently gave a commencement speech at Dartmouth University, a prestigious Ivy League college. He was heard sharing a few lessons he learned during his transition from being an eight-time Wimbledon champion to being a retired tennis player. He said, and I quote, effortless is a myth. I mean it. I say that as someone who has heard that word a lot. People would say that my play was effortless. Most of the time, they meant it as a compliment, but it used to frustrate me when they would say he barely broke a sweat or is he even trying. The truth is, I had to work very hard to make it look easy. The first 2 hours, in a game are easy. You're fit, you're fast, you're clear. But after 2 hours, your legs get wobbly, your mind starts wandering, and your discipline starts to fade. I realized winning effortlessly is the ultimate achievement. My warm ups at the tournaments were so casual that people didn't think I was training hard. But I had been working hard before the tournament when nobody was watching. Maybe you also felt this way. How many times did you see your classmates racking up an A grade after an A grade without even trying? I got there by believing in myself. Unquote. Students, we really hope you also believe in yourself and work so tirelessly that your perseverance also looks effortless. On behalf of Gujarat Research Society's President and Management, Jasuthan ML School's Principal, Vice Principal and staff, I, Shreya Bhagatji, extend a very pleasant welcome to all present here for the annual award ceremony. I would like to invite our principal, Mrs. Damayanti Bhattacharya, and Vice Principal, Mrs. Shilpa Gandhi, to escort our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Goani, to the stage, along with our primary headmistress, Mrs. Sneha Srivastava, and our pre-primary headmistress, Mrs. Rashmi Kapal. I request our music teacher, Miss Hia, along with the students, to begin the day's proceedings on an auspicious note with a prayer.
सरस्वती माँ शारदे शारदे माँ शारदे सरस्वती माँ शारदे शारदे माँ शारदे माँ सरस्वती शारदे माँ सरस्वती शारदे पूर्ण इस अज्ञान उदधि से पूर्ण इस अज्ञान उदधि से वीणा शारदे सूर्य ब्रह्म शिव विष्णु गजानन जिन चरणों को सेवते सूर्य ब्रह्म शिव विष्णु गजानन जिन चरणों को सेवते हम शिशु है अज्ञानी माता इन चरणों का प्यार दे वीणा पाणी तार दे तार दे तार दे माँ सरस्वती शारदे माँ सरस्वती शारदे इस अज्ञान से इस अज्ञान उदति से वीणा पाणी तार दे तार दे तार दे माँ सरस्वती शारदे माँ सरस्वती शारदे सरस्वती माँ शारदे शारदे माँ शारदे सरस्वती माँ शारदे शारदे माँ शारदे
Thank you. I now request our principal, Mrs. Bhattacharya, to introduce our chief guest.
Good morning, our esteemed guest, Dr. Goani, parents, my dear colleagues. We are gathered here this morning to celebrate and congratulate all those students who have excelled academically. Congratulations to each and every one for your wonderful results. I congratulate the parents and guardians of these students as well. May you go from strength to strength while keeping in mind that examinations are just stepping stones. Success is never final. What you make of your success is what will hold you good instead in life. It is my privilege to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Anand Goani, who has very kindly agreed to be the chief guest this morning to give away these special awards. Dr. Goani is a person who wears many hats and he plays all these roles absolutely effortlessly. Dr. Goani, Anand Goani, MD, a consultant physician and with diabetes and metabolic diseases as a specialty, practices in Mumbai City at the Bombay Hospital and Breach Candy Hospital. He has been in private practice for 36 years. In addition to practicing medicine, he lectures students on both medical and non-medical issues, on specific medical issues to esoteric subjects of universal interest and application. He conducts seminars and workshops on management of diabetes, holistic medicine, nutrition, fitness, stress management, leadership and ethics values. He has been a visiting faculty member of the Nursing School of SNDT Women's University, the Institute of the Gandhian Studies and Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Medical Sciences in Wardha, teaching students of medicine and political science on issues pertaining to Gandhian thought on health, hygiene, ethics, and values. He has written and lectured extensively on subjects ranging from nutrition, exercise, medical issues, and issues that pertain to lifestyle and health on one hand, and the other hand, he has written pieces on the philosophy of death and dying as well. His lectures have been widely viewed across the globe. Dr. Goani is a trustee of the Bombay Medical Aid Foundation, which renders financial and medical support to needy patients to enable them to obtain the best medical care. The foundation also runs an eye hospital offering comprehensive care at competitive rates. He founded a palliative care ward at the hospital to care for terminally ill patients, to give them comfort and dignity in the last months of life. He was responsible for raising 2.4 crores for a palliative care ward expansion by 25 beds, which was commissioned recently. He is also on board of Alcoholics Anonymous as a trustee and national security for clean cities. He is an avid traveler. Dr. Goani writes, reads diversely, and enjoys sports and photography. He has authored books on the road of the vegetarian, diet in health and disease, which is currently out of print, I understand. He has also compiled a book on photographs, aphorisms titled The Crack of Dawn. His latest book, A Fistful of Sky, Memories of Jawar, has a 5-star review on portals like Amazon, Flipkart. It's a wonderful book. If you happen to, if you can, lay your hands, do read it. He is, of course, married and lives in Mumbai. He has 2 sons, 2 daughters-in-law, and 3 lovely grandsons. You may ask me, why do I bring MD Doctor here this morning? This is not a part of my speech, but I feel compelled to tell you this, that he is the one person who I've seen, despite being a doctor and so busy, he's a very, he reaches out to people in a way that many people can't. While we take many things in life for granted, but especially when your doctor is that doctor with a humane core, it makes a difference. As a patient, you feel better. He is that person who can reach out, and he's reached out to several youngsters. He is absolutely a very, he enthuses people, all right, and leading the children on the right path. I have attended several leadership camps with him, with the children of the school, and they were a different experience altogether. So this is why I thought I would invite him on this today, because who better than him can reach out to the children and talk to the children in a way they understand. He has 2 young sons whom I have taught in school, and if you're talking about being esoteric, I have the privilege of teaching his older son, who is a science student, did law, but now runs 3 restaurants in London. So that's the expanse. Okay, his younger son Arjun is a doctor at the Asian Hospital, and so welcome, Dr. Goani. That's about him, and that's the reason why he's here this morning. Thank you for your time.
I would request our Head of Student Council, Priya Mishra, and Sports Head, Priya Patel, to present our Chief Guest with a token of our gratitude. I will take a moment here to bring to your attention our extensive list of donors on either side of the stage. We're extremely grateful for their contributions. Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. Students, you dreamed and you did not give up. It is a matter of pride that our students are being honed as all-rounders in academics, sports, and extracurricular activities. Today is indeed a day to commemorate our dear children who have gone above and beyond their means to fulfill their potential, and here we are. Not just to recognize their efforts, but also to encourage them to keep flying high. And so, a gentle reminder to all the parents and family members here to be encouraging to each and every student who comes up here with equal applause for all. But before we begin, I would like to invite our chief guest, Dr. Goani, to say a few words.
Madam Principal, ladies of the dais, teachers and parents and students. I will start my presentation with a small confession that when I was in the 9th standard, I was asked to read the lesson in the assembly And when I went on the stage, I started trembling with fear because I had severe stage fright. And that memory I still have with so much vividness that whenever I'm invited to a school to give a lecture, no matter how well I'm prepared and no matter how good a speech maker I may be, I still get reduced to the same heap of nerves when I'm standing in front of students, teachers, and parents. So give me a minute to warm up so that I get back into my element and forget that I'm in a school, because school is something which is very special. Today we are all gathered here to celebrate victory. And I was thinking in the car, I said, we will come here, we will pour rich accolades on those who did very well, and we will give them awards, and we will give them encouragement, and we'll do a lot of celebration. What about the larger majority that didn't get there, who didn't get the award, who didn't get the accolades, who didn't make the mark? What about them? And I remember myself in that situation more times than in the situation which is sitting on the stage and celebrating victory. So I'm going to talk to you about disappointment. Disappointment is a very, very big teacher, bigger than victory, because victory is a sense of arrival. I have reached, and after that, there is nothing more. I have yet to see a head boy or a head girl of a school make it very big in life. They become the head boy or head girl of the school. And I don't say this is without exception. I think maybe the head boy and head girl of the school in this year might make it real big, but for that they will have to put their mental tuning to a different level. Because when you become something, when you become captain, when you become head boy, when you become head girl, when you get a 5 act or you get topper in the class, you feel I have arrived, I have finished, I have made my achievement. But life actually starts after that. And when you start after that and you don't keep working hard and rest on that old laurel, those who are behind you will keep on and on rising. And then when the real accounting starts, the people who had the most disappointments are the ones who do the best in life. If you take stories from history, whether it is the gentleman who invented the Apple computer, or Michael Jordan, or Oprah Winfrey, or anybody. You take those, you take the Indian examples, their life was riddled with failure to start with. It was only afterwards that they became bigger achievers, because that failure was a stepping stone to the success. So failure is never final and success is never ending. You reach success, you have to keep succeeding after that. And if you fail, doesn't mean it's all over. I have two very distinct examples in my life when I felt failure and that failure pushed me to a higher height. I had bad vision when I started school, and it got worse with the passage of time. And I soon realized that if I don't use my other faculties to the best, I'm not going to be able to match up with those children who have normal vision. So I started inventing my own ways, and I did everything that they did, but I may not have done it as well as they did. And rugby was one example. We had rugby football in our school, and I was a very fast runner, because in running you don't need vision, you just have to stick to your track and get to where you have to get. When I was in rugby, if the ball was in my hand, it was a sure goal that was taken for granted. But to get the ball in my hand, the ball I could see only when it was right next to me. So more often than not, I dropped the ball, then pick it up and run. So in the finals of our very prestigious game against Maharashtra State Police, when we school children were pitted against the Maharashtra State Police in the finals, I was dropped. And I remember that day with distinct clarity of how disappointed I was, because I wanted to be in that team and we lost that game. I don't know if it was on that day that I decided that one day my children will be in rugby and they will play rugby better than me. Many years later, I got married. Many years later, a few years later, I got children. When they were 3 and 6, I took them to the Bombay Gymkhana to watch a game of rugby. I said, I want you to see this game. And they were so small. And everyone said, why are you teaching them rugby? It's such a rough game. It's for grown-up children. Bring them when they are 12 or 15. I said, no, I want them to see it from now. So the other friends in my group who played rugby said, we'll also bring our children. And soon we made a team of people from 3 to 6. And there were about 15 children, 3 to 6. We made a plastic rugby ball. We made a smaller pit and we taught them. They learned, we played with them every monsoon. They learned to roll in the mud. They played tackle. They did everything. And many years later, when my children were in the 12th standard, both children were captains of rugby for our school. And that vindicated my loss and it realized my dream. So they both represented school, both were captains in the same sport, where I felt my first disappointment. And I felt that that disappointment helped me to take the game to another level. This is just one example of disappointment being leveraged to reach somewhere higher. So children who haven't made the mark must never feel that all, but more than that, I'd say to the parents that when your child doesn't make the mark doesn't mean that you should get disappointed. It only means that he hasn't reached his destination yet and much better stuff is awaiting. And that's what school is all about. It teaches you how to take every step to reach where you are destined to be. So the worst thing a parent can ask a child who comes home with gleaming eyes and says, Dad, I came second in the race. Do you know what the worst answer to that is? Who came first? Never ask who came first. Because that immediately deflates his balloon and says, I came second, but no value. Came first is important. Who came ahead of you? It's not important. You want him to come ahead of everybody. Train him every day, but when he goes for the exam or when he goes for the test, whatever number he gets is excellent because that's the best he did for himself, and his best is yet to come. And therefore, today's speech is dedicated to disappointment, not victory. But we will celebrate victory because it's a milestone that you want to remember. So that's the most important thing. Now, a small word for the children. It's on hard work. I'll tell a little story. There was a village with young and old people, as all villages are, surrounded by hills. Every weekend we would climb the hills, celebrate, have a picnic at the top and come back. So the elders of the village decided that we will build a temple on our hill because our hills are so beautiful. And for that, we will get tourism and the tourism will bring lots of revenue to our village. And so the teachers, the elders got together a group of young people who with all their instruments scaled the hill, went to the top and every day would work throughout the day, cutting the top, getting the rock and with the same rock build the temple. So the rocks were used for the walls, the rock was used for the roof, the rock was used for the floor and finally also the deity itself. And the temple was built in a span of 1 year. It was excellent and soon became a pilgrimage spot. And all the people from other villages started coming. On one such day, there was a festival on the top. An old man climbed up to the top, celebrated with everybody. But by evening, when everyone started going, he was extremely tired. So he stayed back. And he stayed back. When it was night, he was all alone on the top in the temple. He lay on the floor of the temple to sleep. Suddenly he hears voices. This is going to sci-fi, but understand the logic. He hears voices. And the voices are talking to each other. He says, someone said, you don't act so tough. Do you realize that I do so much more work than you? You get trampled upon only for the day. I have to carry the weight of this temple the whole year. And right through the year. And someone else's voice says, you both shut up. This is not the way you talk because you all don't understand. I protect you from all the elements of nature and I am the one who does maximum work. And like this argument was going on. And the old man at first was afraid. After that was intrigued. And then he suddenly realized it's the walls of the temple talking to the floor of the temple. The floor of the temple talking to the roof. and all were arguing who does more work. Finally, they all suddenly kept quiet and they look at the deity and said, "And you, why are you waxing so eloquent? Why does everyone come and give you the flowers and wash you with water and milk and rose water and perfume? And why do they offer you fruit and incense sticks? And everyone come and pray to you while we do all the hard work? You remember we were together, the same rock of the hill, and we used to be all together and be the same." And all that abuse went on till the deity decided that, okay, now you guys have said enough, let me speak. You remember that boy, the time when all the boys came up with all their sharp instruments and started hammering on us and hammered and hammered? You resisted. When you resisted, they said, "Oh, he's a tough guy, he'll be good for the floor." You resisted. And when they chipped you, you remained the way you are. So they said, "He's a tough guy, he'll be made for the walls." And you were flat and tough, so they made you the roof. But you remember when they were beating me, I would allow them to beat me. And every time they beat me, a little bit of me chipped off. And it kept hitting me mercilessly till I became into this shape. Do you remember that? And everyone was spellbound. And then they said, "Yes, we remember." He says, "When they were chipping us, you resisted, that's why you become the wall. When they were chipping me, I didn't resist. I allowed them to do it, and then I become the deity." So now I enjoy the fruit, I enjoy the incense, I enjoy the perfume and everyone's adulation, but you have to do all the manual work. If you take all children of the school as the rock of the mountain, when school starts, your teachers, your parents, your friends, circumstances, life starts hammering at you. You resist, you defy, you deny, and you will end up being the wall of the life's temple. You will be the floor or you will be the roof. But if you allow that to happen, and if you learn from every injury in your life, every adversity in your life, every difficulty in your life, you rise to become the deity, and then whole life you sit and everyone worships you. So if you when you get adversity in your class, just remember that this is a stepping stone to do better in life. Your destination has not arrived. And therefore, work hard, be honest, and be hopeful that tomorrow is always going to be better if you put your best. So, with that little advice, I thank you and wish all of you the very best. I look forward to a longer association with your school. This is my first exposure with all of you, but I have had long exposure with your respected principal, and she and I go a long way when we were both much younger and much lower on our hierarchy in life. So thank you very much for inviting me, all of you, and I hope to see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this apt reminder that life is not just about the good, but it also has a mixture of the not so good. Dwayne Johnson, more popularly known as The Rock, said, and I quote, "Success isn't always about greatness, it is about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success, greatness will follow." Unquote. And greatness has arrived. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin the awards ceremony for the academic year 2023-2024. I invite Mrs. Bhattacharya to please bring our chief guest up front to present the awards. Let me see a demo of you clapping, please. Too tired. It has to be louder than the thunder that you hear outside. In case a student has not been able to come today and a parent or family member is present, I would request them to come up on stage to receive the certificate. Starting with our Standard 10 ICSE, we have had outstanding results with 2 students securing the first prize. Beginning with Darsh Panjwani, who stood first in ICSE, she gets the award for excellence in ICSE in social studies and for securing 95% and above. Darsh has and dedicated students' entire duration at JML. We also have Chaitanya Arvind, who has received the first place as well. He received the award for computer application, science, and received a 95% and above in the boards overall. Chaitanya has worked diligently and has been very disciplined and respectful towards all. At second place in ICSE, we have Aryan Vyas. He is receiving the prize for excellence in math, creative writing in Hindi, and 95% and above. In second place, we also have Aryan Shivdasani, who is also receiving the excellence in physical education and 95% and above in his board. In second place, we also have Janaya Goani, who received excellence in elections for EVS 95% and above. At third place, we have Sia Jain, who received excellence in economics and a 95% and above. That's Sia. Good job, good job. Moving on to a brilliant student of Standard 12 ISC, the science section. Our toppers at first place is Amna Siddiqui, who is receiving excellence in science, prize for humanitarian value, excellence in GMT, and 90% and above. Teachers have observed that Amna is always on time, helpful, and very intelligent. At second place in the ISC science section, we have Urva Desai. He is receiving the excellence in physics, in GMT, and 90% and above. At third place, we have Alisha Diogaukar, who received the third prize for in the science section, excellence in physics, chemistry, and computer science, and a 90% and above in her board. Our toppers for the commerce section now. At first place, we have Aneri Vyas, who received the prize for excellence in math, commerce, and debate, and a 90% and above. Aneri has been there for JML unconditionally, and her dedication is well noted and appreciated. Diana Savani has secured the second place, which Aneri is receiving on her behalf. Diana has received excellence in economics and a 90% and above. At third place in the commerce section goes to Meher Sabarwal. She received excellence in math and a 90% and above. Our top scorers now for the humanities section. At first place, we have Arya Sethia, who has also received excellence in math and a 90% and above. At second place, we do have Maisha Shah, who could not attend today. However, she did win excellence in English and sociology and a 90% and above. At third place, we have Rasikeshwari Satsaria, who received excellence in psychology, all-round excellence in ISC, and 90% and above. And now moving on to our NIOS section, toppers of Standard 10. At first place, we have Naomi Dominic Olivia. have Josh Paddock, who has not been able to deliver, but nevertheless well done. We give the prize for humanitarian value to Naomi Correa of the ICSE section. Our batch of Standard 10 also had some very industrious students. Here they are. Anuja Randeri for all-round excellence in ICSE, in technical drawing and in scoring 95% and above. Pia Bhagchandani for excellence in art and in scoring 95% and above. Bhumika Gupta for excellence in art. Adrian Barbosa for excellence in economics and securing 95% above. Vekanshi Visaria for excellence in economics and commercial application electric and a 95% above. Meher Shah for excellence in EVS and Gujarati and a 95% above. For excellence in EVS and 95% above, we have Jia Longani, who is not here. No problem. For excellence in English and a 95% above, we give it to Divya Madhva. We will have a mother lecture about Gujarati. Excellence in Gujarati and a 95% and up goes to Tishma Gala. You all are doing very well, audience. Keep it up. For excellence in Gujarati and excellence in creative writing in Gujarati and a 95% and up, we have Jinesh Shah, who is also not here, but not a problem. For excellence in second language Hindi and 95% and up, we have Swara Nayak. Pal has received excellence in French, but he's okay. For excellence in physical education, Zian Talwar. Harsh Rock also gets it for excellence in physical education. The following students are now being recognized for scoring 95% and above in ICSE. Rishika Desai, Jivika Mehta, Maisha Churani, Vinay Panjwani, Akshat Verma, Alok Gupta also excelled for excellence in creative writing in English. That's all. Danisha Bhagat, Lianga D'Souza. Keep it going, you are one of the speakers of Insta. Drew Hayes, Covid has also played an active role in participating in Model United Nations events. Diva Irani, Excellence in English debate. Sanaya Khanna. I was getting tired. I hope not. Please, Sangoi. Not here. Not here. Dash Dalal. Excellence in Hindi elocution goes to Kanai Manya. Nanda Kanani gets it for excellence in Gujarati elocution. Sagar Insa gets it for excellence in dance. Excellence in English creative writing goes to Anya Kasi. Excellence in art goes to Aishani Sengupta. Excellence in art and scoring 90% and above goes to Samika Shingi. Do we have someone from the family? Excellence in sports for secondary and higher secondary goes to Devanshi Desai, but I believe she's still participating, so keep it going. For excellence in romantic, is someone from her family here? Devanshi. Purva Desai will take it on her behalf. Excellence in dramatics goes to Ronak Kanal. I would now request Mrs. Gandhi to please come and present the rest of the. Thank you. We now move on to the ISC section. Excellence in physics and 90% and above in ISC goes to Dhwani Tande. Anybody from her behalf? Excellence in biology goes to Bhavli Rani. She is not here today either. Excellence in economics account and 90% and above goes to Vansh Bansal. His brother Kabir will be accepting it on his behalf. For excellence in economics as well and 90% and above in ISC, Rumi Hinduja. For excellence in accounts and 90% and above, we have Razik Advani. Excellence in accounts goes to Muhammad Lokhanda. And also 90% up at the ISC. Excellence in mass media in the ISC section goes to Marishka Ashar. Excellence in mass media to Prisha Vatrani. excellence in math media to Nivedita Shetty, and also 90% and above. Excellence in mass media, Pratham Bachani. Anybody from the family? Excellence in art goes to Gwyneth Alves. Excellence in computer science to Saloni Khanduri. Our next segment is to recognize the ISC students who have scored 90% and above. Trisha Mehra, Kiara Mehta, Anika Kevlani, Himaya Bigwani, Mansi Vedra. We have Anshula Murthy, and Isha Ramchandran. I now request Neha ma'am to please present the remaining awards. Our founder, Dr. Madhuri Shah, once said, each child has an individuality, a mind, a heart, and a body different from another's. It should be our effort to create a learning environment in which each individual flowers at his or her own pace and as per his or her own capabilities. In this final yet important segment, we recognize the individuality and talents of our students, presenting the awards of excellence in creativity. Excellence in art goes to Shrisha Jadhav. Excellence in Hindi elocution goes to Akbar Ali Kurakali. Excellence in art, Mahir Chheda. Excellence in music, Aisha Adesani. Let's clap for our little ones. Excellence in dancing, Rohani Fernandez. Excellence in dramatics to Kiran D'Souza. Excellence in art to Maya Surana.